Dave Roscoe here. Well, this just popped up on the Pi Network blog site, and this looks to be the announcement they're referring to. It is ecosystem related, and I just saw this now, so let's go through this together. Launching Pi Network Ventures, investing $100 million in innovative startups. Today marks a transformative moment for the Pi community. The Pi Foundation is thrilled to announce the official launch of Pi Network Ventures, a development initiative of $100 million held in Pi and USD, which will strategically invest in startups and businesses, including those that advance the utility, adoption, and real-world impact of Pi. Pi Network Ventures is established through the Pi Foundation, an ownerless organization intended to steer long-term development of the Pi ecosystem and help facilitate the sustainability and functionality of the network for the future. The Pi earmarked for the initiative comes from the 10% of tokens that are specifically allocated for foundation reserves. And they give the link for the Pi tokenomics blog that they posted earlier. This moment marks a pivotal step forward for Pi, especially now that Open Mainnet has launched and external connectivity is enabled, opening the door to more impactful utility creation and real-world integration. Pi Network Ventures represents a focused and strategic initiative to aid in the transformation of Pi from a widely held token into a widely used one. The vision behind Pi Network Ventures. Pi Network Ventures was created with three core objectives: boost Pi utility, support startups and businesses that integrate Pi into their products, services, and customer experiences, enable more of the world's production onto Pi Network, get more real-world production processes, whether in the form of apps, transactions, or companies, onto Pi by investing early and in startups and companies that create such processes. Bring Pi to the real world. Empower real-life use cases and applications that demonstrate Pi's unique value as a widely distributed, accessible, and usable cryptocurrency. By aligning incentives and providing resources to high-potential founders, startups, and companies, this initiative aims to create a feedback loop of innovation and adoption, designed to benefit builders, businesses, and most importantly, the global community of pioneers. Pi Network Ventures is part of Pi's diverse high-level strategies to boost utility and empower the Pi ecosystem. High signal investment and incubation working in parallel with grassroots utility and ecosystem movements. While high signal investment and incubation typically target and support a limited number of high-quality startups and businesses based on very selective criteria, grassroots movements can leverage the existing community of Pi and potentially generate a large quantity of attempts for utility at scale. Pi employs both strategies. Pi Network Ventures belongs to the former strategy, while measures like hackathons and any other platform that scales utility building are under the latter strategy. Supporting builders from seed to scale. Pi Network Ventures intends to invest in companies ranging from early-stage startups to Series B ventures and beyond. This broad scope provides greater opportunity to access high-potential innovators as well as scaling and proving businesses, each of which provide more opportunity to enhance Pi's utility. Pi Network Ventures differs from most crypto ecosystem programs in at least two key aspects. First, while blockchain-native startups will certainly be part of the portfolio, Pi Network Ventures investments will also focus heavily on general technology sectors, including generative AI and AI applications, fintech, embedded payments, e-commerce platforms, marketplaces, social networks, and real-world consumer and enterprise applications. This strategy resonates and derives from the second objective of Pi Network Ventures mentioned above. From a global e-commerce platform that accepts Pi to an AI-enabled service that leverages Pi for access or credits to a traditional business integrating Pi into its loyalty program, If a company can drive real-world utility and ecosystem progress, the Pi Foundation plans to explore investment opportunities to support it. Second, Pi Network Ventures investment processes are intended to mirror the practices of traditional Silicon Valley venture capital firms with respect to sourcing, selection, vetting processes, and more, designed to identify and support high-impact and disruptive startup and businesses. Strategic benefits for pioneers. Pi Network Ventures was created with the pioneer community at its heart. Here's how Pi Foundation believes it will benefit pioneers and the community. More utility for your Pi. The single most important benefit to pioneers is increased utility. As more businesses accept Pi and integrate it into real-world applications, products, services, transactions, and experiences, you'll be able to use Pi in more diverse ways. Stronger ecosystem. When businesses adopt Pi, they introduce it to new users and use cases. This creates natural growth while keeping usage aligned with real activity and utility, which creates a stronger ecosystem. A stronger ecosystem means more opportunities for pioneers to participate as users, builders, workers, and entrepreneurs. Incentivizing high-quality integrations. Pi Foundation is focused on making investments in high-potential startups and top-tier businesses across sectors and geographies, including those that integrate Pi. This focus will in turn attract builders, increase scale, and expand the vision of the network while accelerating adoption in a strategic and sustainable way. Network effects in action. Every business that joins the ecosystem has the potential to add value to every other participant. Pioneers gain access to new services. Developers get more tools and inspiration. Businesses tap into Pi's user base. This compounding growth effect helps Pi transition from newly open network into a widely accepted standard for decentralized utility. Access to one of the world's largest crypto user bases. That's us. Companies that Pi Network Ventures may invest in could gain something incredibly rare in crypto and in traditional venture capital. The funds come with access to market, potentially addressing two of the essential components of building startups commonly referenced in startup literature. Portfolio companies will have a chance to access a sizable, active, and KYC verified user base with tens of millions of users of Pi Network across 200 plus countries and regions, with over 19 million of them already having their identity verified through Pi KYC. This global audience is not just an asset to businesses, it can be a competitive advantage. It may enable network-driven growth, customer feedback loops, and unique tokenomic models that would not otherwise be possible. How investments will work. While the investments will generally be denominated in US dollars, Pi Network Ventures will seek to make the majority of its investments directly in the form of Pi. This means that companies who join the ecosystem will be incentivized in the very currency they are helping to strengthen and grow. Note that Pi Network Ventures investments are intended to provide both capital and strategic value over a broader time frame to those believed to be best positioned to create value in the world and help provide additional ways to use Pi worldwide. The Pi Foundation is not obligated to invest the entire $100 million based on the quality of applicants and number of startups accepted into the initiative. Pi Network Ventures may make investments over time and from time to time, and may discontinue investing at any point in time. A turning point for the open network. The launch of the open network brought Pi into a new era. Now with Pi Network Ventures in place, the Pi Foundation can further focus on its mission to support and grow Pi's global utility. By investing in startups and businesses, many of which build, integrate, and innovate with Pi and bring real-world utility to the network, Pi Network Ventures is laying the groundwork for a decentralized ecosystem that is globally accessible, community-driven, and economically meaningful. Let's build the future together. This announcement is just the beginning. Entrepreneurs interested in talking with Pi Network Ventures can apply here, meaning there's a link here. We can't wait to see what the network will build together. Well, there you have it. This appears to be the big announcement that they teased at. It wasn't anything that any of us could have predicted. I guess in a sense, it's a type of strategic partnership insofar as they are soliciting these partnerships. So it'll be interesting to see what the Pi coin price does from this point on. I don't know if there's more news to come. I'm literally reading this for the first time with all of you here, so I'm going to need a little bit of time to digest this and collect my thoughts. So we'll be talking about this more really soon. But until then, don't panic, stay the course, and remember, the success of the Pi Network begins with you. Pi to the moon. Peace.